we need to know, what can I do to stop gaining weight?
It is my great pleasure to introduce and welcome Gary Null, noted lecturer and author, best-selling author, nationally syndicated radio host, and boy, can you run a marathon too.
Just ran a marathon.
It's good to have you here in the studios with us.
And those recipes, those are desserts.
Oh, yum.
Desserts.
Guilt-free desserts? Is
Guilt-free
that
desserts
possible?
and allergy-free desserts. Remember, the first time you really heard anywhere in Seoul nationally you could do something about your aging process was right here on your public television station. We're going to make it simple. 15 foods that will change your life for the better. And then I'm going to show you how to make those foods delicious, nutritious, in fact, gourmet. These are board-certified physicians who specialize in helping people understand the food-mood connection. Diabetes is at an epidemic level, and it's preventable in most cases.
We think that if everyone's drinking soda, it must be okay. If they're serving us pizza in public schools, it's okay.
How is this generation so overweight?
We are eating ourselves into this situation. Our sedentary lifestyles have led to this.
Cholesterol per se is not the enemy. It's the oxidized cholesterol.
The statin drugs that block the production of cholesterol also block the liver's production of coenzyme Q10.
There are a variety of natural things that help within the blood. Fish oil, nattokinase decreases inflammation. Vitamin E, garlic is beneficial. Vitamin C as well.
But there are certain ground rules that can make it simple. First, nobody should be eating white sugar. White sugar has no benefit for anybody. I mean, people have heard this before. Increasing evidence, even from the conventional medical world, is starting to question the safety of the 160 pounds of white sugar the average American takes in each year. And I don't eat any, so somebody's getting my 160 pounds, and I wouldn't want to be that person. You know, 160 pounds of white sugar is like a half a pound every 2 days. It's almost like taking a drug in huge amounts. It overworks the pancreas, does all kinds of negative things. Secondly, supplementation. Again, in our office, treating cancer, preventing cancer is complicated because each protocol is individualized. However, there are certain rules that can apply to anybody.
The American Diabetic Association giving advice for diabetics that doesn't work for a lot of diabetics. Advice being given by the American Heart Association, which is conservative and valid, but again, doesn't apply to everyone. Why? Because we're all different. You have to tailor therapies to individuals, and that puts a lot of the responsibility in the lap of the individual. They have to become the world expert in their body, and that's a lot of power to give to somebody, sometimes an overwhelming amount.
If we're struggling with nutrient deficiencies, symptoms include declining of memory, concentration, lack of ability to remember items.
As we're aging, our body can rejuvenate itself.
Start being aware that everything that you do is cause and effect. Everything. Believe that you can reverse disease, and you will.
If I told you right now you have a brain tumor and you have to pack your bags and go to the hospital for brain surgery, you would run right home and do it. But I'm telling you now you're on the wrong diet and you're not exercising and you have to do something about all the stress in your life. And that is the big key to good health.
Why are we so sick? Why aren't we living 120, 130, 150 years in good health? Why do we think that it's something special if we get to be 50 or 55 without having a myriad of conditions?
There is enough research now showing that the single greatest risk factor for death and disease is not smoking, not failing to exercise. It's lack of having a supportive network, a support system, people that we can count on.
We are not just dysfunctional in one part of our life, but functional in another part. When you're dysfunctional in one part of your life, you're dysfunctional. You may be functional in some other area, but the basic core that you become is dysfunctional. So when you're filled with fear, you may not manifest fear in all circumstances, but you are still living a fearful existence.
Bring beauty to every relationship, to everyone you touch. Engage gracefully. Engage with forgiveness, with compassion. But to me, the key word here is beauty. And the fourth is be aware of the energetic dialogue that you're having all the time with everyone and with everything. Insist on the highest quality, the highest level, the highest integrity in all your energetic engagements.
I feel there are several reasons why there can be problems with the immune system. One is the standard American diet, your basic fast food, junk food diet.
It tastes good though.
Tastes good?
But it's not good.
What if you had a health food that tasted good as a junk food? Would you eat it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chocolate, soda.
Basically, I eat fish, vegetables, fruit, and a lot of candy.
I think most Americans would agree that we are a highly stressed society. Think of the hundreds of thousands of people rushing to get to work. Do they like their work? Are they happy with their life each day? Are they eating the right foods? Are they responding to the issues of their life? Are they focused upon what is essential? What happens, for instance, if you really don't like your work? If you're not happy with how you're communicating in your relationships? If you don't like how you're aging? If you don't like how your body feels and looks? First, I open up the vitamin E, because vitamin E helps prevent stroke in your animal, helps protect their heart. That's my vitamin E. Then I give them oil of primrose. Then I take the salmon oil. The key to getting them to drink it is the salmon oil, because it tastes like fish. Now, you talk about a no-hassle way of making sure your pet gets the vitamins it needs to protect its heart, to protect from cancer. Look at this. Yes. So good. Going to live a long life, aren't you, huh? In the last 100 years, if you correct for birth deaths, let's say when children died very early in birth, we have only extended the average lifespan in 100 years, 3 years and 7 months. With all of our technology, with all of our knowledge, how is it we're only living 3.7 years longer on average? Well, we're going to explore that. You're not going to eat this if you don't buy it. And if you don't know what it is and what it does, you won't buy it. So I'm going to help you. Right off the bat, if you're overweight, you want celery. Celery juice is your most important juice because it's a natural diuretic. It will flow out all those toxins that are stored in your fat. Remember, you don't want to be losing fat that has a lot of pesticides, a lot of chemicals that you've accumulated over the years and over-toxify your liver and your kidneys. This is the great detoxifier.
I know the healthy things to eat, but I always seem to throw in those things that are not good for me, and I know that's where the weight is coming from.
I know what foods are healthy, but I guess I haven't wanted to have the discipline or the self-control to eat the right foods.
My relationship between health and weight, I think, stinks, so that needs to be made a lot better.
I just want to become healthy, and I don't think I'm healthy now.
It's time for women to stop what they're doing for a moment, take a pause in their life, take a deep breath and say, from this moment forward in this new millennium, I'm going to honor me. From a woman's perspective, a woman is now aware that she is a dynamic, wonderful, integrated being, and everything is in balance. Being truly whole means being imbalanced in your life, having the best relationship possible, and developing strong self-esteem by discovering your sacred self. Now, if you had no skin, and you could look into a transparent body, and you could see all these trillions of biochemical processes every second, and they were destructive. You could see the cells dying because of cortisol hitting. You could see your brain chemistry changing because of cortisol. When you start playing with the brain and the brain chemistry, you really get into some deep water. They're still vibrating with insecurity, fear, anger, irrational thoughts, over-emoting, because these are all the reactionary energies that we have mastered from our past. Stop feeling that you have to be validated in order to be real. Doesn't matter if someone validates you. It only matters that you feel valid.
A person gets up and says, "Hi, I'm Jim, I'm an alcoholic." Jim is a father, he's a son, he's a brother, he's a friend. There are so many things that this Jim is. And yet he reduces his identity to one thing. I'm an alcoholic. And they carry that identity.
We have the knowledge, we have the science, we have the wherewithal to stop disease. That I will promise you today. You do not have to be sick. And if your doctor or anyone else tells you that, well, your heart disease is inevitable, high cholesterol is inevitable, they are wrong.